Hello, my name's Patel. I'm a serial entrepreneur, best-selling author, public speaker, etc. But today it's not about me. I'm here with my good friend Saeed over here from Dubai, who is also a serial entrepreneur and involved in some amazing, exciting new blockchain-based projects. I know him for many years, and we've been on stage and various other things at various blockchain events in Dubai, as well as other parts of the world. So, Saeed, quick intro, and then we'll get on to talking about some of the projects.
Sure, yes. So thank you for having me, Ru, and good to be here. Good to reconnect with you. Good to talk to you. Quick background on myself. I have been in the crypto and blockchain space over the last 4 years. Previous to that, I used to work for Abu Dhabi Investment Authority, which is one of the largest global sovereign wealth funds. That gave me a very good traditional investment background, traditional fund management background. And then 4 years ago, I co-founded a regulated crypto fund in the name of Alphabet. That's been running for the last 4 years. And the mandate of that fund is to invest early stage into crypto projects and crypto startups. So, over the years in blockchain and crypto, I've personally also been investing, and I've personally been trading for a while, but I'm more focused on the investment side now. And then I advised a lot of different crypto projects along the way as well. And over the last year, I've been kind of very much involved in participating in the different DeFi protocols that have come up. So yeah, that's right. My background. That's what I'm doing.
Great stuff. Great stuff. Yeah, just a bit of similarities there as well. I've done 2 investment funds, real estate, tech, various startups from Silicon Valley to UK, and in crypto for at least 5 years now, but even written a book on crypto during the COVID days. But let's talk about a couple of the projects that certainly one of them is close to my heart, which is the Seesha Finance one, okay? Close to my heart on 2 counts. One, I'm a big Seesha fan and lover, as you know, seeing the pictures, right now to even having a Seesha dedicated room with 10, 12 Seeshas around and a swing and all that chill, relax thing. But I like the concept, and I like the way you are locking people in with some penalties, because a lot of the new tokens I have a big bugbear on, where it's generally a pump and dump. Early investors, whales come in, they buy the early projects, and the minute it's on the exchange, you see a dump, and the poor guys who've come in at that stage lose out. So I like that. But also let me explain why I like it a lot more, because how you've used what I call the Seesha ways and the flavors in terms of the product to make it a little bit more exciting and gamification one. With that said and done, tell me a little bit about the project, how people can invest. So a quick plug, and also how is it, where is it registered, the kind of security measures you are taking, the kind of what I call the company, how it's going to be set up. Is it a DAO? I know some of this, but just for the viewers.
Sure. So I would say Seesha Finance, in a nutshell, is a platform which enables the participants in the platform to be able to have an access to a diversified portfolio of DeFi projects through the mechanism of a decentralized fund. So it's a decentralized fund that focuses on DeFi projects. Myself and the team and the advisory board, most of us have had a lot of experience in co-founding or founding funds and or managing funds as well. So I think our experience and our background helps us to be able to kind of, create this product and get it out there in the market. And I think there's a gap out there at the moment whereby, there is a lot of crypto funds out there. There's some DeFi funds as well, traditional. But, there are barriers to entry for quite a lot of folks out there, especially the retail, because you have to have a minimum ticket size, you have to do KYC, AML, you have to match certain criteria before you're able to invest. And it's pretty tough for the retail folks to get into a fund. So here we're creating something whereby if somebody wants to put in a small amount into a fund and have that money being managed and invested by professionals, then Seesha Finance is that one-stop shop where they can participate, stake our LP token or our Seesha token, and in return get rewards in our native token and also in the portfolio of projects tokens that we have partnered with and we are partnering with and we are having conversations with at the moment. So I think it's pretty useful, especially to newcomers in the space, and also to people who are generally very, very busy with their professional lives and don't have the time to be able to go out there and research a lot of different projects and decide which ones they want to invest in, and then invest in them separately and go through that whole process. So I think we're offering something new to the space, and I'm excited to see how it develops in the future. I don't think I covered everything, but what else?
No, that at a high level is good. Maybe I can ask a couple of areas which would be useful to know. So in terms of the token, it's already started, so people can invest. I love the retail angle because one of my mission and mantra, even in my new project, which is my tokenized capital, it's all about creating a wealth balance in the world. Otherwise, the world is not balanced. Okay, so how you can bring wealth to the average person. And until you do that, the world will never be a better place. There will always be a big divide and a big gap between, the people who have it and the people who want to have it. And I have this social capitalism model and how we share the profits with the community, investors, stakeholders, etc. How are you doing that share of profit and the tokenomic side of it? Would be useful to know as well, because you have an interesting model there as well.
For sure, yes. So first and foremost, we will be extremely transparent by either showing transactions on chain, which highlight the activity of Seesha Finance and its investing activities. Secondly, we ultimately want to have the community benefit the most. And to do so, we have to, give them everything that's due to them. And, for example, if we say kind of invest early stage into a project, we'll firstly, share on chain the SAFT so that, our community sees exactly what price we invested in and how many tokens will be distributed to Seesha Finance. And then we can show on chain that once those tokens are coming in, that we're putting them into the rewards pool and our stakers can get those tokens in full based on a pro rata share of the stake that they have on the platform.
And the balance of, is it by project? Is it by project? What kind of balance is for the platform and the team versus what goes back to the investors?
Oh, no, I mean, everything goes to the participants, everything goes to the stakers. The team doesn't have any allocation or any tokens that they keep. So it's fully, distributed to all the stakers on the platform, and they get the priority.
Fantastic. You see, this is the way to share it. Great. Let's move on to the project now, going forward. So it's you taking the early investors through the LG process. That closes in April. And then what happens after that in the project?
Yeah, so the 8th of April is when the LGEs are complete. Let me run you through an example. So for example, if we look at the Ethereum chain, so the LGEs will run concurrently on both Binance Smart Chain and the Ethereum chain. You can choose to participate in one or the other or both. Let's say, for example, you decide to participate in the Ethereum chain. Let's say you contribute 150 Ethereum, and then by the end of the LGE, there's 15,000 Ethereum in total that's collected. Those 15,000 Ethers will be matched against 15,000 Seesha tokens, and they will be put onto Uniswap as liquidity pool provision. And then the created LP tokens or liquidity provision tokens that come out of Uniswap will go back to the platform, and then the participants will get a percentage share of those LP tokens. So in this case, if you put in 150, total of 15,000 collected, you have 1%. So you get 1% of these LP tokens, and and the LP tokens are obviously Seesha against ETH. And then you kind of claim and stake at the same time the LP tokens on our platform, and then you're good to go, and you start earning rewards. Firstly, it will be in Seesha tokens, where the rewards will be distributed block by block, and then at a later stage, once we start partnering with a lot of projects and we start getting the tokens of these partner projects in our portfolio, then you will start seeing rewards in those tokens as well over a period of time.
Fantastic. And what kind of partner projects are you looking for?
So, I mean, we're having conversations with a lot of projects at the moment. I think we've spoken to about 30 so far, and there's another 60 on our radar. But all of these projects are projects that either myself or the advisory board or the team have either invested in early before and supported early, or they've advised them before as well. So the types of conversations that we're having with the decision makers and founders of these projects is one of, a very positive note, and where we both parties know each other very well. Both parties have worked with each other in the past. Perfect. So the dimension of continuing the relationship and going into a formal kind of partnership is a much easier conversation, and it's a much more exciting conversation as well. And all the discussions that we've had so far have been very positive. And hopefully in the next week, we should have most of these signed up on at least an MOU, and then we can announce it to the public, and then the community will be very excited that they'll see, yes, this is official. There's 20 or 30 or whatever amount of projects it is that we partnered with, and that will look very good. I think the strategy of the fund or the platform will be, firstly, to kind of partner with existing DeFi projects that have done well and will continue to do well and have strong fundamentals. And then once we have a solid base of existing DeFi projects, then as a next stage, we can then focus on actually investing early stage into new DeFi projects, which ultimately should get good returns over a short, medium, and long period of time, if the projects that we decide to invest in actually come good, and our research and our analysis is pretty accurate, then we make the returns, and ultimately the community benefits the most out of this.
Perfect. Yeah. That's very important. One thing you said, it's places where you or your founders, advisors, ambassadors, whoever in the team have been part of the other side's project, because trust, dare I say, scam projects, dare I say, quick in and out, pump dump types of projects. There are so many out there. So it's good to know that. And yeah, as a Seesha lover, absolutely, I like to see that, but as an investor as well. So, I'm looking into putting a small amount. And as this is not about retail, even the big investors, and I'm sure you do as well, people do 50 or 100 project investments these days. It's no big deal. It's no common, nothing different about that. So it's you reaching out the bigger guys who may come in later for even a bigger stake once things are proven, because a lot of people have been burned with that 90% washing up by the wayside, right? Which is good to know. As we started, you had that lock-in period. This is not a pump and dump DeFi project, which is fantastic. One of the things, one of the things you're doing as well on this My Tokenized Capital, and I like that synergy you have, is we are sharing 80% of all our profits with the community. So even to the point that where we make NFTs for someone, or a DeFi project for someone, or create any form of collateral for that person, tokenize their asset, whatever we do, 80% of it goes to the community, but we build that community. And I see you are trying to do the building of that community as well. We're doing it through even likes, shares, comments that people share, journalists who write about it. So we're sharing it at large to people generally who don't get any stake from even being a viewer, but they are being an ambassador for you, for example. So that'll be interesting to talk to you, but not today, at another stage. We've got this emerging tech stand of all stands, which is going to be the world's first tokenized stand. And it's at Dubai at the AIBC conference in May. So I will send you some details. I think it'd be great to have you over there showcasing your thing, because you've been to so many hundreds like I have. People walk away from this and don't get anything back. And we are saying you will get your NFTs converted, depending on what level you come. We will share your things. We will write about you. We will put a NASDAQ journalist-based video for you. We'll even create it to NFTs, and you can sell it. You can do whatever you want it. So people can get their money back, or at least some value they walk away with. So it'd be good to see a Seesha stand with pipes and what have you there.
We have time. We have time to plan for it. I mean,
sure.
I've been in touch with the organizers, and I'm confirmed as being a speaker on one of the panels about DeFi at the event.
Yes.
So I'll be there regardless. But in terms of Seesha Finance, I think yeah, it would be good. It would be good to have a presence there, and
yeah, it's a small part. I'll show you. In fact, let me see if I can show you some slides.
In terms of the NFTs, for sure, Seesha Finance will be leveraging.
That's why I mentioned it, because you are actually giving away an NFT to every early investor, correct?
That's correct. Every
yeah, that's why I mentioned it.
We'll get an NFT reward.
And what kind of NFT is it?
So it's a pretty special piece that's been created by a very very well-respected and well-renowned artist. I don't think we'll mention his name yet, but when the announcement comes out and we show what the piece is, I think that will get a lot of people excited. This specific artist will also be our NFT ambassador, so he will be, able to vet kind of which NFTs come through our platform and which NFTs can be rewarded to our stakers and which ones are of the highest quality, because ultimately an NFT is only as good as its the asset that is linked to, and if that asset is not desirable of the highest quality, then the NFT won't perform that well. So I think that's very important, and we will have also kind of NFT lotteries where people can participate using Seesha tokens, and then we'll get artists to create one of a kind. So with the piece I mentioned about the LGE participants, it's going to be one piece, but it's copied and distributed.
It's split into shards, right?
Yeah, well, not shards, but copies of the actual
the print versions, right? Copies of.
But yeah, we'll look to make unique ones and get people to try to win those on a lottery. So that's something that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, that's you see. So it's that hybrid mix, which is, I'm just showing you the image of the concept here. So everyone would have like one pod, some right up at the back, like a counter position. There's going to be 20 around, showcase emerging techs. And then inside you have, an interview for all the sponsors. NASDAQ lady, Jane King from Market Side and Tron in the Silicon Valley TV. So she does the interview with all the participants. Obviously, if you're a non-sponsor, you can buy in as well and have one of these to put on your website, your collateral base, whatever you do it to it, but we'll NFT it for you as well. And again, we share the profits with all the people on the stand. That's the important bit. So whilst people are paying, there are other revenue streams coming from it, developing the app, because we have an app for it, but we are going to now share the profits of that for future events and things like that. And people get an NFT as well, My Crypto Face, plus their own audio, video, art, whatever they choose, will convert and put it on for them as well. And that piece you see there is from a creator where I was involved creating it, and they're doing a whole series with a whole bunch of artists with various themes as well. So we're going to create an art gallery. So if you want to put a print or something in there, by all means, you're welcome to it.
Perfect. Yeah, looks amazing. I look forward to checking it out in more detail.
Sure. Before we close, Saeed, how can people, I mean, I know where, but if you can say, how can people be an early investor for Seesha Finance here?
So I think if you head on over to the Seesha.finance website and then click on the either the Ethereum LGE or the BNB LGE, and you know, contribute either Ethereum or BNB, then I think you will be getting in at the lowest possible price for the Seesha token, and that's, I think, where you kind of maximize your returns, and that will be the best place to be an early participant. And you know, I think if we do deliver on what we plan to deliver, and I think you know, if the community could you know take a peek into the conversations that we're having, I think they'll be super excited, and it'll create a lot of buzz. But we'll kind of make those announcements when the time is right, and I'm sure over a period of time, you know, once we you know, develop the platform and once we build the portfolio, I believe that's when the real value of the platform will come out. We are in it for the long term, so I think, you know, I do expect short term for the price to be, you know, to move in the right direction in the short term, and then obviously there probably will be like a correction, and then things will stabilize. But then I do predict in the long term for the token to do very well, and especially if the portfolio of projects that we have do perform well as well, then you know, that's ultimately something that's going to be very valuable. And I believe we solved the problem of, you know, a lot of these staking and yield farming platforms, you know, the rewards that you're getting in terms of the native tokens of these protocols, they're pretty inflationary, and they're not sustainable, and they lose value over time. Whereas I think on our platform, your rewards and the tokens and the portfolio of tokens should gain value over time. So
and what sort of returns are you targeting from the partner community in a sustainable fashion in terms of APYs? And by the way, this is not financial advice.
Difficult. It's really difficult to say, but I think it'll be
a range.
The most important thing is that it will be sustainable, and it will be solid. So that's something that I can say for sure. I don't want to speculate on the percentage APY, because that will be clear as soon as the token lists and it has a price. Then you'll be able to, you know, we will show the APY numbers on the.
What's your target? That's what I was trying to ask. What would be a good, slightly better than good and excellent?
I mean, in terms of Ethereum and BNB contributed, I think if we can get to kind of maybe like 20 million total in coins collected, then I think I'll be very happy. So let's see. I think the most activity is going to happen at the end of the LGE, towards the last few hours of the LGE, that's when I expect to see a really big uptick in the number of tokens contributed.
Yeah, as usual. But you're not going to tell me a typical APY expectation. That's fine. That's fine. I guess until you collect,
it will be a pure guess if I do. So
yeah.
I would rather not.
No, that's fine. That's fine. And in terms of the lock-in period, it's a 2-year lock-in period, yeah, with penalties for anyone who doesn't exit at the early stages throughout the 2 years. But there is a breakout at the first stage where someone can take X amount out without penalties. If you can talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so as soon as you stake the LP tokens, then you have a 2-year lockup. You can unstake early, but if you do so, for example, in the first month, then it's a very heavy tax of 96%. If you do so the month after that, it goes down by 4%, and it goes down every month by 4%, and then it bottoms out at 4% after a 24-month period. The rewards and the portfolio project tokens that are rewarded, those are not locked. So the community or the staker can do what they want with those tokens. They can either, so in the case of staking without the big penalties that you talked about, that can happen if you stake Seesha token by itself and not the LP token. If you do stake the Seesha token by itself, you'll also get rewards in Seesha token and also the portfolio of project tokens. However, because of the unlocked nature of staking those tokens, the proportion of the rewards that you will get compared to the LP token staker will be a lower level. So ideally, you'd want to stake the LP tokens. Obviously, there's more kind of impermanent loss that comes into play with liquidity provision tokens. But if you want to, reduce that risk, you can just stake the Seesha token. However, you have to be willing to accept a lower rate of rewards as well.
So your advice is the LP token is the better option if you are a long-term player.
Yeah, if you're a long-term player, I believe that you should participate in the LGE, and you should stake and leave it locked in liquidity, and then
for sure.
If you really want to maximize, then the rewards that you get in Seesha tokens, you should also stake those and stand to get a better pro rata allocation of future tokens as well.
Yeah. So it's better to stake some Seesha tokens on top of it as well, right? And that's on a monthly basis as well, correct?
The rewards is on a block by block basis for Seesha tokens. Yeah, so you can do it every day, you can do it every week, it's up to you.
Yeah. Saeed, thank you very much. That was very useful. And I look forward to seeing you, and I will send you some other details from mine as well. But thank you very much. And I see you in Dubai very shortly.
No problem. Good to catch up with you. Have a good day, mate.
And you, buddy. Cheers. Bye.